Good morning, dear hearts. Please subscribe. We are at lesson 287. You are my goal, my Father. Only you, only God is my goal today. We are in the second part of the workbook. The first part of the workbook is all about clearing out the chaos that is in our mind. The first part of the workbook is we want to work to reduce and release all of the egoic thoughts, the small thoughts, the limiting thoughts that have held us captive. When we complete the first part of the workbook, which we did a couple of months ago now, we are in the second part of the workbook, which is about now having this clean slate, this empty space that is able to be filled with loving thoughts, with thoughts that are cohesive, that thoughts that are sustainable, because an untrained mind is not sustainable. So we want to sustain our mind with thoughts of God. We've already had a couple of lessons in part 2 of the workbook about God being our goal. In 256, God is the only goal I have today. And 258, let me remember my goal is God. And now we have, you are my goal, my Father, only you. There is no conflict in this goal. The other goals, the goals of the ego, are always vague and they're ambiguous. But we have one goal and one thought and one destination, with God being the goal for us. The lesson starts by saying, where would I go but heaven? What could be a substitute for happiness? What gift could I prefer before the peace of God? What treasure would I seek and find and keep that can compare with my identity? And would I rather live with fear than love? Which, of course, is a reminder to me, at least, of the, I'm going to call it the famous line in the text of, would you prefer to be right or happy? So what would I prefer? Would I prefer to live with fear, or would I prefer to live with love? There is, if you've been watching, you know that I have my most favorite lesson in the book is 205. It is the last review of part 1 of the workbook. And I'm going to take every opportunity to read it. And it is, the peace of God is everything I want. The peace of God is my one goal, the aim of all my living here, the end I seek, my purpose and my function and my life, while I abide where I am not at home. Again, we're not at home here in this world of chaos, in this world of things coming and going. We are at home in heaven, in the awareness, again, it's not a place. We are at home in the awareness of the peace of God, which is a heavenly state. So the lesson, today's lesson, continues with the prayer part of, you are my goal, my Father. What but you could I desire to have? Again, my only goal, my purpose and my function and my life. I'm not going to read the whole thing because I don't want it to be too long, but it does go on, and it has the same information that pretty much every lesson has, whether said or implied. Your son would be as you created him. I am as God created me. We need to bring this thought into the forefront of our mind, so it is where we go to with every upset, with every possibility of there being another thought, and we go, no, this is not the thought I want. The thought I want is that I am as God created me. And there's just one more, and I think it's a reassuring line, and it comes from the first review in the workbook, and it is in lesson 60. And it is so beautiful because it is the reminder that I am walking steadily on toward truth. There is nowhere else I would go, because God's voice is the only voice and the only guide that has been given to his Son. This is where we go. We go together. We go hand in hand. We go onward to the destination, our goal of God, together, that we again may rejoin our mind with God's, and once again know knowledge is of God. Know our oneness, our completeness, our wholeness, and our holiness. That's it for today. I hope this helped. I hope it was not confusing. We have one goal. We go together, and we will get there. It is assured. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and please be here tomorrow. Namaste.